Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to learn what is the constructor, how we can write a constructor, and if you don't write a constructor, what happen, and the types of constructor, those things we are going to understand in this class. So let's go. What is a constructor? What is the constructor? It is a special method we can say. It is a special method. Like we are having a method, right? So it is a special method we can say that, and this special method have the same name as a class name. Let's take you are having a class name as a student. Then your constructor name also be a student. And one more thing, in the normal methods, what you are having a return type, right? Here in the constructor, you are not using a return type. So it is a special method. It is a special method. We can say that it is having the same name as a class name and it is not having any return type. So that method we are calling as a constructor. Okay. Why we are using the constructor means to initialize the object or to give us some sentences or to give some values, right? If you want to initialize the values when you are creating an object, if you want to do some logics before you doing the starting an object, you you need to do some logical operation. That time means, let's take one example, you will be understand in a better way. Okay, we will take one example. Okay, here we will take one example. Let's take you are let's take one example I will give. Okay, let's take you are booking a room. Okay, you are booking a room. You are booking a room. Okay, when you book that room, what the staff members of the hotel, what they are going to do before you enter that room, right? Before you enter that room, that staff member will clean your room and on the AC, and they will put one water bottle, right? They will set the room before you enter that room. They are going to set your room, right? When you book that room, what happened? They are going to start setting your room, right? So that thing we can call as a constructor. How it is going to be do? See, constructor means it is a one special method we can say that whose name is the same as the class name and who do not have any return type. That thing we called as a constructor. And why we use means to initialize your object or to give the sum of the logical content. That time the constructor will be used. So let's take one more example. See here, let's take you are this is your phone, right? Your side button is there, right? If you press that side button, what happen? If you press that side button, what happen? Your wallpaper will be look, right? Okay, we will take one more example of the phone. Let's take it is the phone. Okay, it is the new phone. Okay, what you are going to do first, you will on the phone, right? When you on the phone, and that time defaultly some apps will be there, right? Some languages will be defaultly there, right? In English, right? Defaultly in English it is there, and some default app is there, right? So that thing we called as a constructor. Means you are pressing one button, it is defaultly starting some operation, means showing your wallpaper. Like that also we can say it is a constructor. If you press that button, it is automatically going to show the wallpaper. Or if you're having a new phone, what you're going to do, you are on that phone. That time what happened, the default apps will be there, that will be active, right? So if you're on that phone, the default sum of the operation will be start. That thing we are calling as a constructor. Constructor is a special method used to initialize the object. That thing we called as a constructor. Why we need means to initialize the object. Okay. Okay. Let's take types of constructor we can see. Means here the default constructor is that, and one more is parameterized constructor. One type is default constructor, another one is parameterized constructor. In the parameterized constructor we can see the zero parameterized constructor, and one more is the parameterized constructor. Then here the default parameterized constructor here is there, right? Means this is defaultly called by the JVM. This is the defaultly called by the JVM. Means you are not writing any constructor, that time default constructor will be called by the JVM. That thing we called as a default constructor. Parameterized constructor means this is a user defined constructor. You can see the zero parameterized and parameterized. You can see this is the user defined constructor. So let's go and see how we can write a constructor. Let's go to the coding part. I will create one class called as a student class. I think so student class is already there. Okay. I will give SS student. I'm taking a simple example because you need to understand the concept first, right? So that's why. Let's take, I told you what is constructor. Constructor is a special method whose name is the same as the class name, right? What is the class name? S student, right? So a student is the constructor name and it is a method. So it is a method. So we are using this brackets. Okay, then here we are opening an parenthesis. Then we will give one sentence. Okay, what happened? Okay, here I will give, hi, I am a constructor, right? I am a constructor. We will take one more class called as S main. We will take S main constructor topic we are doing. So click on public static void main, click on finish. Okay, here what we need to do, we need to create an object of what? Student, right? So I'm creating here the object of that class. So let's understand. Here we are created one class, right? We have created a constructor. What is constructor? Constructor should be same as the class name. It is a special method, right? It is a special method looking like a method itself, and it is the name is the same as the class name, who do not have any return type, right? And it is also has some body we are given, right? So we are created one more class here, and we are here creating the object of that class. Here we are not calling a constructor, means we are not calling like a method, right? When the object is created, that time the constructor will be called here. See here, SS student, right? This is like when you are creating an object, the constructor will be called here, right? So we will run the program. Let's see what you will get. Hi, I'm a constructor, right? This is how we are going to call that one. So if you are doing one thing, means if you are on, means if you are starting your phone, that time the constructor will be called here, and the some of the logic or some of the apps, logic means activation, some of the app will be active that time. So that apps will be active, because when you starting your phone, means when you are on your phone, that time it is going to call here, call the sum of the operation what we need to start that one. So that thing we can put here in the constructor. So this is a, we can say that zero parameterized constructor. If you not return here constructor, then the JVM will defaultly call the constructor. That thing we are calling as a default constructor. If you are return, that time whatever you are return, that will be called here. If you are not return means, that time default constructor will be called. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is about the default constructor. Let's take how the means, if you are giving a parameterized constructor, what happen. Let's go. We will do one thing here. We are return student here, right? We will give a value here. So let's see, we will give a parameters n, and here we will give as a int. Okay, yeah, we will take, and here we will give string name, and here the int age. Okay, here in this constructor, okay, I will give that sentence also n. You will understand what will be first executed that time. Okay, then here we will going to give one more method called as a display. We will give, and we will give one sentence here. What we will give her, name is plus name, and here age is plus age. Okay, okay, then we will save this one, and we are already having a here, right? We are already having here. Then here, see, we need, when we are creating an object, that time which constructor we need to call here? Parameterized constructor, right? Here we are written a parameterized constructor, so we need to call that one. How means, let's take here string of n, right? Name, string of age is the two, string of n is the name, and here age we need to give. So I will give here name, then here we will give a age. Okay, then what we are going to do is, here we will call the method, right? S dot display, right? So we will save this one and we will run. See here what happened. I am a constructor. First, what happened? It is when you are creating an object, that time the constructor will be called here. When you are creating an object, that time constructor will be called here. Here we are mentioned the parameterized constructor. It will come here to parameterized constructor, and it is going to set the value here, right? It is going to give one sentence, then it is going to set the values here. Then after that, what is the next thing is there that will be get executed. Name is Misbah, age is 23. If you want to initialize something, if you want to put the some of the logic related to the initializing or related to the loading, right? That thing you are putting inside a constructor, right? I told you once again, if you want to initialize something, or if you want to uh, run some of the logic, or if you want to set some logic when you are creating an object, that thing will be put inside a constructor. Okay, we understand that what is the default constructor, it is called by the JVM, right? In the parameterized constructor, we can say that zero parameterized and parameterized. If you are not returning the constructor, the default constructor will be called. If you are returning the constructor means, that time that constructor will be called here. Okay, next we will understand what is the constructor overloading. See, we understand in the previous class what is a method overloading, right? Method overloading means multiple of the methods, multiple methods present inside the same class, right? With the same name, but different parameterized or type of parameterized is different, right? That methods we are calling as a method overloading. Means multiple of methods, or method overloading means multiple methods present inside the same class within the same, means with the same name, different parameterized or type of parameterized different, or number of parameters will be the different. That thing we called as a method overloading. Here constructor overloading means same as it is a constructor overloading topic. Multiple constructors in the same class with the different parameters, right? Same thing. Let's take one example. You will understand in a better way. We will go here. See here only one constructor is there, right? We will create a one more constructor. So we will give here, then we will give one sentence. Hello, I am a zero parameterized constructor. Okay, right? So we are written a constructor here. See, zero parameterized constructor, here parameterized constructor, right? So we will take one more. Okay, here we will give here as a string name. We will give hello, I am a one parameterized constructor. See here. Okay, I will give a name also here. Okay, we will give here name plus, right? Okay, we will run the if you want to call the constructor, what we need to do is here, see, what we need to do means we need to call the constructor s equal to new. Then same here, see here, if you want to call the constructor, what we are going to do means we need to create a object of that particular constructor. See here, we are calling the zero parameterized constructor, here we are calling the parameterized constructor. Then we will take the sentence here again and we can call that one again, and here I will mention the name here. Then we are going to save this one and let's run, see what you are getting. Hello, I'm a zero parameterized constructor. Misbah, hello, I'm a one parameterized constructor. Hi, I'm a constructor. Here, see, if you want to call that particular constructor, create a object, right? When you are creating an object regarding of that constructor, you should call here, means here if you want a zero parameterized, mention like that. If you want a one parameterized, call like that. And if you want here this constructor, when you are creating an object, give that parameters. You can call within one itself, we can call within, if you are creating one object here, right? You are creating one object, and if you want to call from this constructor to this constructor, this constructor to this constructor, all those things, if you want to call the all those constructor, you can call that one. We can say that that is a local chaining, and we are going to understand in the next class, because here we will make use of the this keyword, because this keyword is the most important for the interview. So we will make a one more video for that one. We will make use of the this keyword, right? And if you want to call the constructor from one class to the another class, that thing also you can call using the super keyword. We will understand in the next class that one. Okay, you understand that method overloading, right? Multiple constructors are there with the same name, but different parameters or types of parameter is different. Okay, let's understand what is the difference between the constructor and methods. Constructor means here constructor name, what you are giving same as the class name, right? Here for the method you can give any name, right? So return type we are not using here, and we are using a return type in the methods. And how you are going to call, when you are calling means when you are creating an object, that time you can call that one, it is automatically called that one, right? Here if you want to call the methods, what you are going to do, you need to create an object and you need to call that methods particularly, right? And one more thing, we can tell that here you can use the access modifiers also. Like here you are using the access modifiers, here we are using the private, you are using the private one. We will understand the things in the singleton design patterns, there we are using the private in the constructors. So this is about the difference between the constructors and methods. You understand that the real world example like a phone, and let's take one more example, like we understand one more thing like hotel, right? And we will take one more example, we will take a student. When the student is takes the admission in the school, what happened, we fill their name, we fill their class, for which class he's taking admission, and we will give one roll number, right? This is like a constructor, means when the student is taking an admission, when the student is taking an admission, that time what happen means you are collecting the details of the student and you are storing it in the database, right? Means you are setting the object like student with the details, right? That thing we all can say that it is a real world example. So if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment. And still in the constructor we can make use of the this and super, how we can call the from one constructor to the another constructor using the this and super keyword. We will understand in the next class because that is important for interview. So we will go with that one in the next class. So quickly understand what is the constructor and what are the things today we learned. Constructor means it is a special method, right? It is the same name as the class name and it is not having any return type, and that thing we called as a constructor, and we are using it for to initialize the object, to set up some of the logic. That time we are using the constructor. And okay, that is the need, right? Then types of constructor. Default constructor, if you are not written, the JVM will call by defaultly. If you are written means you can write as zero parameterized constructor and parameterized constructor. We understand that one, right? Then constructor overloading means multiple constructors with the same name but different parameters or types of parameter is different. That is a constructor overloading. And what is the difference between the constructors and method, right? Means a constructor is the same name as a class name. Methods can having the different names, right? And in the constructor we can't see the return type. In the methods we should have a return type. And how we are going to call the constructor means it is automatically called when you are creating an object, right? Here the method means you need to manually call that one. You need to create an object and you need to manually call that one, right? Then we learned the real world example of hotel, right? Hotel, how you are going to book that one, how they are going to set that one, right? And we taken one more example of the student, and we are taken one more example of the phone, right? So this is about today's class. In the next class we are going to learn this and super keyword. See you in the next. Thank you.